Hey guys, my name is David from X-Wing Versus, and this week I have an Imperial build including 2 gunboats and a Firespray. If you like seeing these builds, consider subscribing and sharing this video. It helps the channel out a ton and I really appreciate it. Also, feel free to comment, leave a like or a dislike. I love answering guys' questions and just having a conversation with you guys. So if you have a question or just want to comment on this video, feel free to do so. Alrighty. For the Firespray this week, it's an Imperial build, like I mentioned earlier, and the pilot is going to be Krassis Trelix, who you've probably never heard of, and I don't know where he's from outside of X-Wing. And if you know that answer, feel free to leave that down in the comments below. So in my opinion, Krassis Trelix is the best Firespray pilot for the Imperials. Boba Fett's ability of switching bank maneuvers sounds useful, but it's never helped me, and the best thing about Boba Fett is his high pilot skill. Trelix, however, has a pilot ability that lets him re-roll his dice for his secondary attacks. So he's basically the original Link battery, and that's really the crux of this build. Or I guess, not really the crux of it, but it's like half this build. Is the fact that he can re-roll his secondary attacks, and that just helps you make sure that the ion cannon in this build can get the hits it needs. His pilot ability also works with torpedoes and missiles, but those are each a single use, so I suggest using the cannon because you're always going to be able to use it every turn if you so choose. And I'm sure many of you guys already know what an ion cannon does. If an ion cannon hits, it deals 1 damage and also an ionization token. So if it's a small ship you're shooting at, that ship will have to go 1 straight next turn. And so that makes it super predictable where that ship's going to be. And so not only can Krassis Trelix get a shot at them, but more importantly, the 2 gunboats easily know where they need to be, and then just zoom in for the kill. And also, as you can see from some of the pictures I've included, I tried this build against triple TIE-X7 defenders, and I actually ended up winning against it. And I learned a ton in that game just about Trelix, and I changed up the build from what I had before to what you guys are seeing now. And also in that, I learned a couple of things about how to fly Trelix. So first, Trelix needs to go slow. That just helps him have more shots at longer range with the ion cannon. And also, to kind of help with going slow, I equipped the Slave 1 title and added seismic torpedoes. That way you can blow up any obstacle, and it just helps. It's one less thing to worry about. You don't have to worry about landing on the asteroid and if you can attack or not, or in the case of debris, taking your action. So it just makes your life easier with that seismic torpedo. And second thing I learned is Trelix will be shot basically every turn. And so to kind of help with that and to help with control, I placed Rebel Captive on Trelix. So what Rebel Captive does, it deals 1 stress token to the first opponent to attack you. And this is an Imperial only card, so whoever you're shooting at, so they'll gain a stress token, and then possibly if you decide to shoot that same pilot, you can also deal ionization damage. So again, stress tokens, if your opponent wants to be able to perform their actions their next turn, they have to do a green maneuver. And so it's just another way to help you control your opponent's movements, and so that way your gunboats can get there. Another option for crew is Agent Callus, and he's great because you can choose 1 ship and all your focus, all your green focuses become evades and all your red focuses become hits. So especially in a meta where 2 ship lists are increasingly more common, it means you can basically get free evades and attacks against half of your opponent's list. So that's another powerful option to consider. It's basically almost like you're getting a free focus action. And again, that's one thing that I think really would help the Firespray survive, is essentially giving it that free action with Agent Callus. And lastly, I gave Trelix anti-pursuit lasers. So this kind of just acts as insurance that if your opponents are getting really close to you, and that they'll suffer damage. And also because your pilot skill 5, you'll move before a lot of ships, and so it just makes it easy to deal damage that way, and that's always good. But also you can use ion projectors, which if your opponent rolls a hit or a crit, they suffer an ionization token, which if they're a small ship, again, they get ionized and they have to go the one forward next turn. And again, just makes it super easy to know where they're going to be, and then you can line up the shots you need. Alright, so that's it for Krassis Trelix. And now on to the gunboats. Each of these have a heavy laser cannon and a long-range scanner. So that way you automatically have the target lock you need, so you're rolling 8 dice. And then I also gave one of them linked battery, so you get that free reroll. And also another can to consider is putting the flechette cannon. So often you're going to want to slam, and sometimes you'll have an opponent to shoot at, but because of the XG1 title, you can't perform attacks with cannons that are over 2 points, which a heavy laser cannon definitely is at 7 points. So having the flechette cannon at 2 points, you deal damage, and also if it hits you, if they're not already stressed, they receive a stress token. So again, just another option for control, and just lets you attack more often. Alright, and so the name of this build, I call it the Sharks and the Jet. Reason for the Sharks is because, let's face it, the Alpha Class Starwing gunboat, if you look at it, it kind of looks like a shark with those long sloped gull wings and that dorsal fin up top. Like, it already looks pretty much like a shark. And then the Jet in this build is the slave one, and because, well, I guess technically every ship in X-Wing is a jet, but you get what I mean. And so again, just recapping the basic strategy of this build, Trelix is basically like the bait in this build. He's relatively easy to attack, so he's going to absorb a lot of the fire, but at least one ship each turn will have to take a stress token, making them much more predictable where they're going to end up the next turn. And then you also have that ion cannon, and with Trelix's ability, being able to reroll one attack die, it's much more likely it's going to hit. And that's a free ability. If you're stressed, you can still use it. So it really opens up possibilities. And then also, if you go for ion projectors on this ship, then that's another way you're dealing ion tokens. And again, you're limiting your opponent's possibilities that way. And all of that just makes it very easy for you to concentrate your gunboats. And then if you can get them to concentrate their fire, that is 8 dice from those 2 ships that your opponent is going to have to take. So it's very, very fun. There's a bit of risk to it, but it's very rewarding. And again, it is really fun just being able to take out the Firespray and make this ship more deadly than I otherwise thought it would have been. Thank you guys for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like. If you thought this build was interesting, feel free to share it with your friends and get their thoughts on it. And I also would love to hear your guys' thoughts as well. If you like these videos, please consider subscribing. I always try to make builds that I think include ships that I don't see very often. So I just try and find ways to bring those to the table, and also just kind of, for me, it's an attempt to try and break the meta of X-Wing. And alright, thank you guys for watching this video, and I will see you guys in the next one.